So guys, now let's learn about string methods and concatenation. So I'll just create some variables like const first name and last name. So first name is equals to assume William, and then we have last name, right? So const last name is equals to Johnson. Okay, and I'll just create one more thing, that is age. Okay, const age, which will be a number, so I'll just write 20, 30. Okay, and that's it. So now if I just, and now assume you want to print the first name with last name. For that we have this plus symbol, which is actually concatenation. So I'll just write val is equals to, actually we created this val variable before this tutorial, so I'm not writing let val. But if you are doing this inside a new JS file, you should use this let val, okay, or var val, okay, those kind of things. So now I'll just put it in comment, and now I'll just write first name plus last name. Okay, and now I'll just write console.log val. Now if I save it, okay, so it is stating that first name is not defined. That is because of we wrote the first name in totally lowercase, the end should be in capital. Okay, I already told you that if you are using two different words, the second, like from the second verse, every word should start with a capital letter. Okay, and now if I save it, you can see it printed William Johnson together. That is because of this plus symbol. Now if you want to add some space between this William and Johnson, you can just write val is equals to first name plus then the quotation mark space, okay, and then again plus, and then last name. Okay, now if I save it, you can see now there is some space between William and Johnson. That is because of this plus symbol actually concatenate every string. So first name contains this William string, then we added a space string, so this string just contain a space, okay, and then we concatenate this last name string, that is Johnson, right? So that's why we have this space over here. And now assume we want to append some variables. So for example, I'll just write over here appending, okay, and assume I just wrote val is equals to my name DIptam, okay, and again I wrote val is equals to my last name, that is Paul. Okay, and now if I save it, you can see it printed only the last one. That is because of like the Paul is overriding DIptam, because both are storing at the same variable. So the val contains DIptam first, then we wrote val is equals to Paul. That means DIptam is now overrided with Paul, right? And when we printed val, it printed only the Paul, not the DIptam. So in case if you wanna append these two things inside one variable, you can just write plus equals to. Okay, that's it. Now if I save it, you can see it printed DIptam Paul, but there is no space between these two, first name and last name. So for that you can just add a space after DIptam or add a space before Paul. Okay, both are same actually. So now if I save it, you can see now there is some space between these two names, right? And now let's see how to how to create a line with this concatenating method. So I'll just write val is equals to hi my name is, then I'll just pass the first name, okay, and then I'll pass maybe and my age is plus age, okay, and yeah, that's it. Now I'll just put a semicolon. It's better to use this semicolon, but I don't have that habit, so that's why I'm not using this thing. But if you are beginner, you can just use this semicolon after every line. When you finish a line, you should use this semicolon, okay, and here also this line is finishing, though, that's why you need to use this semicolon. Okay, now if I save it, okay, the first name is not defined, f should be in lowercase. Okay, now if I save it again, you can see hi my name is William and my age is 30, but the William and is actually merging, so I'll just add one more space over here. Now if I save, yeah, hi my name is William and my age is 30. Okay, now there are some more things, that is like length. If you want to find out how many characters are there in a string, you can just use the length. Okay, so I'll just write over here length, and val is equals to first name dot length. Okay, now if I save it, you can see it printed 7. That is because of William actually contains the 7 letters. Okay, so that's why it printed 7. Similarly, if I just use last name, now if I save it, you can see it printed 7 again. So that means Johnson is also contain 7 letters. If I add EA over here, now it should print 9, right? So that is because of we added 2 more letters. So now if I save it, you can see it printed 9. Okay, that's how this length works. And now we have one more method, that is concat. Okay, so that is similar to concatenation, which we already learned. So this is a method which is like alternative method. So you can just use like val is equals to first name dot concat, and then inside the parenthesis a quotation space and then comma, then last name. Okay, so it will actually print the first name with last name. So now if I save it, you can see it printed William and Johnson, right? So that's because of like first name and last name is actually merging with a space between them. Okay, that is because of we want this space over here. So now if I just remove this space from here, and now if I run it, you can see there is no space between these two variables, right? So I should add a space over here. It's working fine. And now let's see how to change the cases. You can see in the first name variable we have William, right? And in William the W is in uppercase, but the rest of the letters are in lowercase. Assume we want to change all the letters to uppercase. For that we have two uppercase method. So I'll just write val is equals to first name dot to uppercase. Okay, that's it. Now if I save it, you can see William is now in capital. Similarly, if you just write to lowercase, I'll just paste it again and I'll change this upper with lower. That means now all the character will be in lowercase. Okay, so now if I save it, you can see all the characters are in lowercase, right? And now we have index of. Okay, index of. And but before learning this index of, we should learn what is index. For example, in William we already learned there are 7 characters, right? But the first one starts with 0 index. Okay, and the last one will be the 6 index, obviously. So now if I just write val is equals to first name, and then in the box bracket you can just write any kind of index. For example, if you wanna print only the first character from the name, you just need to write 0 over here. That means 0 is the first character. Okay, so now if I save it, you can see it printed W only. Similarly, I already told you the last one will be the 6 because the length is actually 7. So if it starts with 0, the last one will be 6, right? So now if I just write 6 over here, and that means now it will print M. You can see it's printed M. So if you just write 2 over here or 3 over here, it will print that particular character. So over here 0 1 2 3, that means L is the 4th character, so that's why it is printing L. Okay, and now let's see index of method. So val is equals to first name dot index of, and you can see when we ran the index, that means if you write 3 over here, it will print the character at that 3 index position, right? But assume you don't know the index of that particular character. In that case, you can just use index of and you can pass that particular character. Okay, for example, if I pass L, it will just it will just get the first index when this L comes. For example, WIL, that means the third one is the first L, right? So that means the index will be 2. So now if I save it, you can see it printed 2 over here. But assume if you wanna get the last index of the similar character, so in that case you can just use last index of. Okay, I'll just quickly copy it and paste it again, and I'll change this index of with last index of. Okay, and now if I save it, you can see it printed 3. That is because of the last L is actually at the 3rd index position. Okay, and so now there is one more method that is char at. Okay, so I'll just write char at. Okay, and this method is also similar to the indexing method. So you just need to write val is equals to first name dot char at, and then I'll just write 2 over here. Okay, that means it will just print the letter which is at 2 index, so it will be L, right? So now if I save it, you can see it printed L. So similarly, if I just write 1 over here, that means it will print the character at the 1 index position, so that is wi, that means it is I, right? So now if I save it, you can see it printed I, right? So this is how this thing works. Assume now if you want to print the last character from the letter and from the word, and you don't know the length of that word, so in that case you can just use this thing. So I'll just show you that. Val is equals to first name dot char at, and then you just need to write first name dot length minus 1. Okay, that means for William the first name dot length already printed 7, right? So this is 7, right? And now we are printing 1 from there, so that means it will be 6. So the index 6 value is actually the last one, that is M, right? So now if I save it, you can see it printed. Okay, there is some unexpected token colon, so it should be semicolon, not colon. Okay, now if I save it, you can see it printed M. Similarly, if you want the second last character from the word, you can just -2 over here and just save it. You can see it printed A. So now we have substring. Okay, let's just see that thing as well. So substring. Okay, substring is basically when you wanna print certain number of characters. Okay, so for example, I'll just write val is equals to first name dot substring, this one, and I'll just write 0,4. That means the 0 index value is W over here, right? And the 4 index value is actually 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 I. So it will basically print WILL. So let me just save it and see. You can see it printed WILL. So that is because of, let me just open the whiteboard again. Okay, it is opening, and let's just clear it out. Perfect. So now let's just see how it is actually working. So we have the word that is WILLIAM, right? And the W index is actually 0, it is 1, it is 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Since we want to print, let me just show you that thing. Since we want to print the substring of 0 and 1, that means it will start at this 0 position and it will go before the 4th position. That means it will just go only these 4 characters. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. That's why it printed WILL, will only. But if you want to include this I, then you have to write 5 over here. That means if I just write 5 over here, and now if I save it, you can see it include that I over here, WILLI. That is because of it's at this 4th position now. So that's how this substring works. Okay, and now there is one more thing, that is slice. Okay, I'll just write slice over here, and val will be equals to, let me just quickly move these things out. Okay, perfect. And now let's just write val is equals to first name dot slice, this one, and it's also works similar to the substring. So similarly we have to write 0,4 and it will just print WILL. Similarly, if I just write 5 over here, it will just print WILLI. But there is one more thing. Now assume if you wanna print only the last 3 characters, not the first 4 one. You want to print the last 3 characters. So in that case, you can just write, I'll just quickly copy and paste it again, and I'll just write -3. Okay, that minus means it will count from the last character. Okay, so now if I save it, you can see it printed IAM, that is the last 3 character of William. Okay, similarly if I just write -5, it will just print last 5 character. Okay, LLIAM. Okay, and now there is one more thing, that is split. So I'll just write split, and so that will be equals to, like when you have something, like when you have some string values with containing some data, and you want to split all the data to store into an array or list. So in that case, this split method comes in. Okay, so I'll just quickly make a variable called str. Okay, str, and that will be any string. For example, I'll just write programming, then JS, then Python, then HTML, database, some random keywords. Okay, and now assume we wanna split this all things with this comma and space, and we wanna put them into an array. Okay, so I'll just need to write the variable name is actually sdtr dot split, and the split should be with comma and space. That's it, right? And you can obviously put a semicolon after this line. So yeah, that also perfect. And now if I save it, you can see now all are totally separate. Programming is a totally separate keyword, JS is totally separate, Python is separate, HTML is separate, database is already separate, and they are stored into an array. If you click on this arrow over here, you can see at 0 position there is programming, at 1 index there is JS, at 2 index there is Python, 3 HTML, and 4 is database, right? Similarly, assume we wanna make it like something. I'll just change this string and I'll just write my name is DIptam, and I'll put a comma, and I'll just write I am 20 years old. But you can already see that there is one problem. We are actually using this string inside a single quotation. But when we wrote I am already include a single quotation. That means this starting single quotation is already ended with this I. And then we wrote some text and then again one more single quotation. So the Python is now confused. Why you are using 3 single quotation inside, to create a string. So you can just use double quotation when you include single quotation inside the sentences, or if you include double quotation inside the sentences, you can just use single quotation to create the string. So if I just write double quotation over here, and I'll just end this double quotation over here, so now it will work fine. So if I just run it, you can see my name is DIptam is totally separate, and I am 20 years old is totally separate. That is because of we are actually splitting with this comma, right? We are splitting this with comma, so that's why they are not totally separate. Now if I save it, you can see, yeah, there are two values inside this array. 0 is my name is DIptam and 1 is I am 20 years old, right? And if I just write single quotation to create this string, it will throw an error. That is because of it's already ending over here, right? But you can actually accept this total, this quotation actually. So to accept this quotation, you just need to write backslash. Okay, so the backslash will actually remove all the powers from this single quotation. So now this single quotation is actually a normal quotation. So this is not actually using to create this string. The actually the string is created with these 2 single quotations, not this one. Okay, so this one has no power right now. So now if I save it, so you can see it's still showing these 2 array elements, right? And now we have 2 more things left, that is replace. Okay, so I'll just write replace, and that will basically replace any word from a sentence. For example, we have HDTR, right? So HDTR actually containing my name is, well, yeah, this one, my name is DIptam and I am 20 years old. And now assume I want to change this DIptam with some other names. So I'll just need to write val is equals to HDTR dot replace, and then I'll just need to write the first name which you want to replace. So I'll just need to write DIptam, and I want to change it with assume Alex. Okay, and now if I save it, you can see now it is changed and my name is Alex and I am 20 years old. Okay, so yeah, that's how these things actually works. And now we have one more thing. This is the last one, that is includes. Okay, it's actually returns boolean values. Okay, so val dot sdtr dot includes. Okay, this one. And so now assume I want to write name. Okay, that means this name is already inside this particular string. So that's why it will print true over here, right? But if you just use something like age, which is not present inside this particular string, my name is DIptam and I am 20 years old, there is no word called age, right? So now if I save it, you can see it printed false. So this includes method actually check whether that word or keyword is actually present at a particular sentence, list or array, and if it doesn't present at that particular string, it will just return false. Okay,